Hello and welcome to another daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Sunday the 19th of November 2023, the year of BSV. Buy BSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Here we go. So somebody has just sent me this article. So this is actually a link to the Times article. So we've managed to get through the paywall. Woohoo! So let's have a quick read of this. I'm looking forward to going through this. So Sunday Times, 19th of November 2023. Who is the real Satoshi Nakamoto? Scientist fights to prove he's Bitcoin's creator. Craig Wright is taking on Twitter founder and other tech giants at High Court. The prize is becoming one of the world's richest men. Is that right? So Craig, the Tulip Trust contains 1.1 million Bitcoin, which people say is roughly about $30 billion. How do you respond to that?
$30 billion is pissant.
That's what I thought so as well. Right, let's have a quick read through this article then. Here we go. So, the true identity of the inventor of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, it's not cryptocurrency, it is money. Bitcoin is one of the biggest mysteries of the digital age. While rumours have spread for more than a decade, only one thing is certain. The shadowy creator or creators have gone by the name of Satoshi Nakamoto. But the question is not just a matter of intrigue for the tech geeks, because the creator is also the rightful owner of the Bitcoin treasure chest worth £31.5 billion, potentially making the person behind the mask one of the richest people in the world. Which may be one of the reasons why Craig Wright, a 53-year-old Australian computer scientist who lives in Surrey, is going to huge lengths to prove he is Nakamoto. However, there is a catch. Wright has repeatedly refused or failed to provide technical evidence to back up his claim. Well, it's not really technical evidence, it's just evidence that you need. Now, some of the most powerful businessmen in the tech industry, including the billionaire Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey, are involved in a legal action to prove that he is not the creator. So there's a picture of Jack Dorsey, and underneath the picture it says Jack Dorsey said last week they had witnessed firsthand the challenges and legal obstacles that Bitcoin developers face. Carrying on with the story, it says, to his detractors, Wright may be trying to pull off an elaborate hoax in the hope of getting his hands on the Nakamoto billions and the copyright to the Bitcoin blockchain technology so he can charge developers for its use. Wright has sued those who dispute his claim. In January, the increasingly hostile row between will head to the High Court in London, where a judge will attempt to answer the question that has dodged the crypto world for years. Is Wright who he says he is? The birth of Bitcoin. The genesis of the dispute dates to 2008, when a white paper published under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto proposed the idea of a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. Bitcoin was introduced to the world the following year. Again, 3rd of January 2009. The ethos was intended to be anti-authoritarian and libertarian, removing third-party intermediaries from financial transactions. About 1.1 million of the original Bitcoins were said to belong to Nakamoto. That's actually precisely 1,100,111 to be precise. Bitcoin owners have a private key, a password that can be stored on a hard drive which proves their ownership and lets them move the cryptocurrency. The keys are unique and cannot be replaced, as James Howes from Newport, South Wales discovered when, in 2013, he threw out a hard drive only to discover it held the keys to what at today's price would be £241 million worth in Bitcoin. He has spent almost a decade scouring a local tip to try to find it. Skip diving. As Bitcoin became more popular and grew in value, so the myths about Nakamoto grew. Under the pseudonym, Nakamoto would correspond with Bitcoin's early users by email until about 2011, when the messages stopped and the mysterious inventor disappeared from public view. Then, in 2015, two journalists reported that Wright was Nakamoto. At the same time, his bungalow in Sydney was raided by investigators from the Australian Tax Office. It is not known what the investigation was about. Wright, who denied wrongdoing, moved to England the following year, began claiming he was Nakamoto. So there is just a picture there with Craig saying Dr. Wright lives in a £3 million mansion in a gated neighbourhood in the football enclave of Cobham. The story continues. Born in Brisbane, Wright grew up in a difficult home and is said to have had few friends. In his teenage years, he would while away much of his time playing Dungeons and Dragons or dressing up as a samurai because of his love of Japanese culture. Well, I mean, that's kind of like just adding more fuel to the fire that he is Satoshi Nakamoto because it's a Japanese name. All right, let's carry on. He joined the Royal Australian Air Force at 18, where he worked on computer coding and later lectured at universities. He claims to have completed more than 20 university degrees, as well as becoming a registered pastor, and was awarded a doctorate in 2003. Since being unmasked and then embracing his identity as the creator of Bitcoin, Wright, who lives in a £3 million mansion in a gated neighbourhood in the footballers' enclave of Courtroom, has faced frequent calls to produce evidence of his claim, such as showing he has the keys to Nakamoto's coins. But he has insisted he cannot do so. In a court case, he claimed that in 2016 he had stamped on a hard drive containing a password needed to access the private keys. And the story continues. Aggressive courtroom battles. A number of legal cases have ensued, and as the value of Bitcoin has soared by 13,200% since 2015, each Bitcoin was worth nearly £30,000 this week. The battle has become more toxic. Last year, Wright sued Peter McCormack, a prominent crypto blogger from Bradford, for defaming after he posted a string of tweets in 2019 saying Wright was not Satoshi Nakamoto. Wright won the case but was awarded only nominal damages of £1 because the judge ruled he had given deliberately false evidence in support of his claim. Wright's appeal on the amount of damages was dismissed. Speaking last week, McCormack said, "I've been in 5 years of litigation, which has been unbelievably expensive, stressful and cost more than £1 million against an aggressive litigant who has spent a fortune trying to win this lawsuit." Quote here, "I've been in hospital twice with massive panic attacks and I've had the risk of losing everything. The house, the car, the business. It's been hell." Well, he's the one that wanted it. He's the one that actually brought it. He's like, come on, let's take this to court. Let's do it. You're a liar and a fraud. What a fool. Wright has also attempted to sue Magnus Granath, a blogger known as Hodler who called him a fraud on Twitter. Granath, to avoid a costly UK libel trial, countersued in his native Norway and won with a judge ruling the comments were protected by freedom of speech. Wright is now attempting to use the British courts to sue Bitcoin developers and companies for infringing his copyright over Bitcoin and the white paper he says he wrote. 4 cases remain on hold until the High Court's ruling in January, hearing on what has been termed the identity issue, whether or not Wright is Satoshi Nakamoto. That case has been brought by Cryptocurrency Open Patent Alliance, COPA, a group of tech firms founded by the financial services company Block, owned by Dorsey, which alleges that the development of new technology is being hampered by Wright's claim to be the inventor of Bitcoin. Another member of COPA is Mark Zuckerberg. Whew, big names, big names. Gambling billionaire backer, last month Wright was dealt a painful blow in the case when Mr. Justice Miller ruled that the court could hear arguments that dozens of documents put forward by Wright purporting to show the development of Bitcoin might be forgeries. As part of their argument that Wright has a history of forging documents, the COPA team will allege that a PhD thesis submitted by Wright to Northumbria University in 2008 was heavily plagiarised from 2 1990s works by an academic. Don't know if that was right, but anyway. Dorsey said last week that he had witnessed firsthand that the challenges and legal obstacles that Bitcoin developers face. He added, "These talented individuals are shaping the future of finance and technology, and they deserve the freedom to innovate without the constant threat of legal action. By providing legal support, we can help them focus on what really matters, building technologies that will create a better future for all of us." What a load of crap. They're trying to make it worse by stalling Bitcoin. That's what they're not telling us. Dorsey is also funding the defence in a case brought by Wright's Tulip Trading Limited company via a Bitcoin legal defence fund he set up in 2021. Wright, for his part, is being backed by the gambling billionaire Calvin Ayre. The Canadian who founded the online betting site Bodog is the son of a drug-dealing pig farmer and was once on the run from the US authorities over an alleged illegal gambling operation. He pleaded guilty to a single misdemeanor charge in 2017. Ayre, a passionate defender of Wright. Oh, look at that, passionate defender of Wright. Can he be more passionate than a defender of Bitcoin himself? I'm not sure. has invested heavily in his work and took a controlling interest in the tech company's Enchain in a deal worth more than £400 million earlier this year. Wright is a consultant for the company and was formerly its chief scientist. The pair are linked to Sir Robert Buckland, the former Justice Secretary, through a cryptocurrency called Bitcoin Satoshi Vision, BSV, an offshoot of the Bitcoin endorsed by Wright and Air. An offshoot of Bitcoin. No, it is Bitcoin. That's what this case is all about. But you just look at the technicals of the protocol, and it is Bitcoin. Buckland and the Lord Curry, a former chairman of the Competition and Markets Authority, are working for a company set up to investigate claims that 4 cryptocurrency exchanges colluded to delist BSV in 2019. Curry is the company's sole director, and Buckland is an advisor and former director. He paid £5,000 every quarter for about 18 hours work. It's funded by one of Air's companies. Is he really Satoshi Nakamoto? Wright declined to respond to the question about January's hearing, but his spokesman said Wright has reported to litigation simply to end the harassment he has suffered over the years since he was independently outed as Satoshi by a tech publication in 2015, and to protect and uphold his interests in his life's work, the creation and adoption of Bitcoin. Quote here, it should further be noted that the COPA trial in January arises from a claim being brought by COPA against Dr. Wright, which he is defending, not initiating. The spokesman also referred to a 2021 court case in which a Miami jury ordered that Wright pay $100 million to the family. This is false. This is false. To the family of a former business partner for intellectual property infringement. That's not what happened. The $100 million was to go to W&K defense company. Outrageous. The judge ruled that Wright would not have to hand over any of the 1.1 million original Bitcoin, which the deceased business partner's family claimed they were owed because of his alleged help in creating the currency. Well, actually, they ruled that he didn't help create the currency, and he didn't mine it with him. Craig mined it on his own. Wright held this as a vindication. A court, as he saw it, recognised that he was the owner of the original Bitcoin and therefore Satoshi Nakamoto. Ian Taylor from the trade association Crypto UK hopes January's hearing will finally settle the issue once and for all. My sense is that Bitcoin is the work of many people. No, it can't have been. Simply for its economic commodity classification. It can't have been that. But anyway, for the work of many people, for many different areas of expertise, and that for me is one of the most interesting things about it, he said. It combines computer science, economic game theory, and number theory. Is Wright an expert on all those things? Not necessarily. Did he contribute a little bit? Possibly. Let's get a judgment to find out and move on. Oh, who else said that? Let's get a judgment and move on. It was Peter McCormack that said that. Does he regret it? Yes, he does. Oh my god, this is absolutely phenomenal. There we go, so we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, the largest court case in financial history coming up on the 15th of January 2024. Stay tuned, we'll bring you more. And until then, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.